Hello everyone, Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel, and welcome to a new playthrough on the channel. With our visit to Gravehold and Aeon's End last week, we're going to venture back to World War II Europe and meet Rommel out in Normandy to play Field Commander Rommel from Danversen Games. We played this game earlier in the year. In that playthrough, we played Ghost Division. For this one, we're going through the Normandy scenario to commemorate the anniversary of D-Day yesterday. As a reminder, we'll be in control of Field Marshal Erwin Rommel and the Axis forces. Let's move over to the board and go through our starting forces. Naturally, our board looks different since we are going through a different scenario in this video. We've got the Normandy scenario. Let me see if I can zoom in here. Just a touch where we've got the three objectives here are in St. Lo, Balleroy, and Cannes. And we currently have forces on 3 of the beachheads that the Allies are going to be deploying into. Both sides start off with 10 supplies, and we have got some nasty forces waiting for the operations go order. But we'll zoom in on the track here real quick just to see that the parameters look a little bit different. So I pointed this out in the video, but I pointed this out when we played Ghost Division earlier this year. But you might notice that there's a number on in the upper right corner of each of these campaign dates, because this one takes place over looks like about a month and a week after the actual landing on Normandy. So we want to last as long as we can because we are going to get overrun. The scenario will actually end when the Allies hold either at the last turn, which is July 8th to the 15th, or, if we zoom out, if you can see the 3 flags here, when the Allies hold all 3 objectives, we'll score victory points at that point. We're not using any special abilities to go through for this scenario. I will kind of explain how each unit works. So each unit has 3, potentially 4 numbers to it. There's the number that they have to roll on attack to do damage, and if it has a superscript value, that means it does 2 hits based on if it rolls that or lower. So, for instance, for the 21st Panzer Division, if it rolls a 5 or higher, it does 1 hit, or 5 or less, I should say, does 1 hit. 2 or less does 2 hits. Second number is how much it does on defense. So if a unit's attacking this, we have to roll at least a 3 to do damage. And then 3, the last number, is the movement limit. And then each unit also has a weakened side, which we can flip over during the refit phase for 2 supplies per refit. So you can see how the units will actually get weakened potentially as each unit takes damage. But again, we've got some very nasty units waiting for the Allied go order. And I've got some forces scattered around the board just to help remind me that when the Allies reinforce, the first turn they're going to use those reinforcements instead. Just so you're not confused on what that is. We do have our battle plans to choose from. Those are off to the side, and I won't detail those until we buy each one. So that's everything we need to get set up. So let's get into this playthrough, and we'll start with our first turn. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to advance the campaign turn to June 6th, 1944. Then we'll go into refit, but there's nothing to refit because this is the first turn of the game. Then we've got battle moves. It would be tempting to try to go over here to Denonville to try to wipe out the 6th paratroopers from Britain. I definitely want to make sure I hold Cannes for as long as I can, so... And then we can always battle move them back right. We can always battle move back, or we can always non-battle move back when we come back to that phase. So I think we will go ahead and we'll bring both of them over. It's a little over. Well, actually, that's kind of a bad idea because at the very least, I want to try to pull back and control objectives for as long as I can. So if I can maybe send the 12th Panzer over in this direction, plan on bringing the 21st back after they get rocked, that might not be a bad idea. I can bring the 77th back to hold St. Lo. Because the strategy I'm going to probably end up employing here is I'm probably not going to hold these beaches for very long. So what I want to try to do is I'm probably going to have to use northern France as a land shield in order to, and let them come in, and then plan on peppering them as they make their way in. But we'll see how that unfolds. So yeah, I think we will just move the 21st Panzer in to try to take out the 6th Paratrooper. Alright, so we're moving into... So I think that's going to be our only battle move this turn. The 709th and the 91st up here are very much trapped because they've got the American 101st Paratrooper, 101st, and 82nd Paratrooper divisions up there waiting for them. So yeah, we'll just move the 21st Panzer in. So now we'll go into our battle. Alright, so the Allies get their battle plans, and the way they determine that is they have one unit there, so they'll get one battle plan. That will be the... I've got bags set up for this. I think the Allied battle plans, right, are in the Cthulhu bag. So they'll draw one of these out. But I believe these stay out between battles. I never got a clear answer on that. Let me see if I can find what actually happens with those battle plans when they get drawn out for their battles. I don't know if they stay out and then I'll get replenished at once, or do they get replenished right away, or do they go right back in to the bag? I think they just go right back in the bag from the looks of it. I'm not seeing anything here that says they would go back in or they would stay out. So yeah, I think for the time being, I'm going to rule that, somebody might correct me in the comments down below, but for now I'm going to rule that the battle plans go back in the bag after they're used. So the Allied battle plan this time is artillery, so we're going to have to roll for hits on that. And then as far as our battle plans go, we get 2 battle plan points per force that we have there. And we can spend supplies for additional battle points, but I don't think we want to do that. Oh, actually, I take that back. Looks like the Allies have they have 7 supplies, so they're actually drawing 3 plans. Okay, hold on. I did not see that at all. So I totally forgot about that, so I'm going to rewind that. I think our best plan, honestly, at this point, is actually just to sit tight and make them make the first move, but even still, I think we're definitely going to have to play a defensive game with this one. So I think we'll just go right into non-battle moves. We'll bring the 77th down to hold St. Lo. Then we'll send the 12th Panzer 1, 2, 3, since that's their move limit. Trying to get them over to... I'm planning to bring them into Balleroy so we can hold that objective next turn. So supply check, there are numbers on the board that indicate how many units you can have on each space in a given region. It's two units for all of them, so we are all clear on that. No penalties there. The other one that has 2 units is up here in Utah Beach, but again, 2 being the limit. So in the Axis resupply, I feel like we're just going to need bodies out here at this point. So I think, given that we now hold St. Lo, so per objective free of allies, we will get 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9 based on the battle points up here. So we get 9 more. So we'll get 9 more battle plan, or 9 more supply points, which we're going to spend like crazy. So we're up to 19 right now, but we won't be for long. because I'm going to spend 5 of those battle points immediately to buy another Panzer division. I'm going to buy the 10th Panzer, and I'm going to deploy that in St. Lo. Then I'm going to spend... how many do I want to buy? I think we're going to spend... I think I'm going to spend 4 more battle points to deploy 2 more infantry divisions. So I'll grab the 5th and 3rd paratroopers for the Axis and deploy them both into Cannes. Plan on storming up to Juno and Storm Beach to try to hold those, but I'm not sure how well that's going to go. So that's the Axis turn. Now we go into the Allied turn. They go through their refit, but there's obviously nothing that they've had damaged either. So now we go to the Allied operation check, which brings us into this bag. So this bag right here. So if we get the go order, we're probably going to be in serious trouble. All right, so our operation... Come on, flip. Is 2 advances. So when the operation starts, the Allies will have 2 additional advances. They've got some very nasty units waiting for us in this one. Then with that, we go through the Allied order step. Where is that? Here we go. So for each force in the region, if there's 1 or 2... So I think everybody's actually just holding tight for the time. In an objective. So up here... So up here at Saint Marie du Mont, we'll roll the die for that. For Allied forces not in an objective. I think that's for each region. So Saint Marie du Mont's order. The 3, they're advancing, and I believe that's toward battle, not toward the objective. Let me just double check that. Okay, here we go. Move each of their forces 1 area directly toward the closest Axis force. So both the paratrooper divisions are moving up toward Utah Beach. So we're going to have a battle up there. It's a fortified space, so we'll have a defensive advantage, but the Allies will be drawing, let's see, 3. They'll be drawing 2 battle plans. Plus, with 7, they'll be drawing 4 battle plans and losing 2 supplies. So they'll go down to 8. Other way, they're going down to 8 battle plan points, or 8 supply points. So 3, 6, 8. So they're drawing 4 battle plans. This is going to be very bad, I'm sure. Allied battle plans are back in the Cthulhu bag. That feels like, I believe that's 4. Let me count that out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, got them. All right, so our first battle plan, I'll put those down there. Our first battle plan is ambush. So roll first during the first round of battle, which presumably means if we get our units picked off, will they still get to fight back, or... let me just double check the explanation of the... The Allies get to roll for... Okay, so the Allies get to roll for and inflict hits during the first round of battle before the Axis gets to act. So let's see what the second battle plan is here. Dig in, which absorbs 1 hit. So basically 1 hit does nothing to them. Then... press for 1 more round. Oh, that's going to be a problem. And... tactics. Reroll 1 roll. So we'll use that to reroll 1 of our hits. Or basically our first hit will get rerolled. So... we have 4 battle plan points because we have 2 full strength units there. So 4 battle plan points, and we get to spend supply points for battle plan points on a 1-for-1 basis. I think we'll spend 2 to get 2 more supply plan points. Or 2 more battle plan points. So, I think we'll buy Intel, which our first look at Intel will let us bring that up close. That'll let us cancel 1 random enemy battle plan, so that's 2. We'll go for tactics for 3. Disrupt for 4. Overrun for 7. And we'll let the other one float away because I have absolutely 0 interest in press. I want to try to get out of this battle as fast as I can. So with that in mind, our intel kicks in and will randomly cancel 1 of the allied battle plans. So we'll go ahead and roll for these. Well, roll, I should say. Then 1, 2, 3. That's the one we're canceling. So we end up canceling. So we cancel the dig, and that would let them absorb a hit, which is not that great. And there are a lot more dangerous battle plans that we could have canceled. For instance, the ambush, which now kicks off. So the allies will get to roll first. They are hitting on a 2 or greater, so rolling for the 101st Paratroopers. They roll a 4, so that's a miss. Now for the 82nd. They roll a 4 as well. So actually they would have re-rolled the 101st because they get to re-roll a roll. All right, a 2 is 1 hit, which I'll use a spin down to represent. So we'll deal the hit to the 709th. And now we can't hit on attack. Well, actually, yeah. Okay, so we're fine there. So we dealt the hit to the 709th. 709th. So now the Axis actually gets to act. Speaking of the 709th, we'll roll for them. We're on defense, so they hit on a 3 or less. Five or less, which we'll re-roll using tactics up. Oh, we have a disrupt. I'll deal with that on the press round. So we're re-rolling. So we're re-rolling this first attack for this first defend roll, which is a 3 or less. That's still a 5, so nothing there. The 91st defends on a 4 or less. That's a 1, so they will deal 1 hit, and we'll deal that to the 101st Paratroopers, which turns into 1s across the board. As I drop the other unit, I was going to check on that. Yep, 1s across the board on that one as well. Okay, so now we'll bring that off. All right, so Overrun is still... Is that in effect for the whole battle, or just for the round? Throughout the battle. Okay, so... Right, so we've used tactics, we used ambush, and now we'll use press. So the Allies' battle plans are all done, and now combat is technically simultaneous. So I'll actually remember to roll for disrupt this time, on this stage of the battle. So looking at disrupt... On a 1 to 3, they lose 2 supplies. On a 4 to 5, they lose 1, 6, no effect. So hopefully we can get a good roll here. That's a 1, so they lose 2 supplies, which brings the Allies down to 6. And now combat is all technically supposed to be simultaneous, so we'll roll first. We defend on a 3 or less with the 709th. That's a 2, so that is 1 hit on the red spin down. Then the 91st defends on a 4 or less. 4 because it's a fortified 2 plus a fortified space gives a 1 bonus plus overrun. That's a 1, so that's 2 hits. And then rolling for the 101st paratroopers, they hit on a 1 or less. That's a 6. And then the 82nd defends on a 2 or less. That's a 4, so they don't do anything. Which means I believe when we're assigning hits, we have to assign to the... cheapest, I believe. When we're dealing to them, whereas when we're dealing to us, we can choose. Allocate them with the lowest attack values first or the lowest defensive values. So we'll deal 1 hit to the 101st paratroopers and destroy them. And then we'll deal 1 to the 82nd paratroopers. Technically, I think all the allied orders are supposed to happen first, but I just find it easier to do the battles, after I do the orders, to do the battles right away, just so I don't forget. Then the 82nd paratroopers will retreat back to St. Mary du Mont, and then we'll roll for the 6th paratrooper division. We'll see what they're doing. A 4 means they're advancing right into combat, so the 6th paratrooper is not going to have a happy time of this, I'm sure, but we'll find out soon enough. So that's a space of... So that's another fortified space, and we just put a panzer division in there. So, because the Allies have 6 battle plan points, the Allies will actually get 1 battle plan plus 1 and lose a supply. So they'll get 2 battle plans. They'll go down to 5 supply points. Then we'll draw battle plans for the Allies. So remember, they get 2 battle plans out of this. So there's 2 for the Allies. They find first up. They find a disrupt, which we used earlier, and their own overrun. And then since we have 3 full-strength forces in Cannes, we get 6 battle plan points, and I'll spend 2 more to make it 8. So, let's see. I will go with Intel for 2. I'll use that on 8 so I can track how many battle plan points I have. Intel for 2. Let's go Overrun for 3. And Dig In for... I don't think I necessarily need Dig In because Overrun is going to give me... I'm actually already going to have plenty of defense. So I don't think I need Dig In as well. I will take Disrupt for 1. We'll go Tactics. Let's see, that's 5, 6, 7. And I'll just let the last one float away. Before I cancel the Allies' battle plan with Intel, I need to take a small break. So our Intel kicks off and we'll cancel out one of the Allied battle plans. So I'm rolling for these off camera. That's the one I'm canceling. So we are canceling. We're canceling the Disrupt, so we don't have to worry about our supplies getting hit, thankfully. But what we do have to worry about is their overrun. They're an infantry division, though. So with all combat supposed to be simultaneous, we'll roll for R4, or actually we'll remember to roll for Disrupt. So once again, just to take a quick look. On a 1 to 3, we lose 2 supplies, or they lose 2 supplies. 4 to 5, they lose 1. 6, they don't lose anything. That's a 1, so they lose... Right, they lose 2 supplies and go down to 3. Alright, and then since combat's supposed to be simultaneous, we'll roll for the attackers. First, they hit on a 3 or less. And no superscript. That's a 3, so they'll be taking 1 hit. Actually, we should have done an upgrade. We should have done upgrades, but I'll do that after we resolve this battle. Alright, so everything here is going to hit on a 5 or less because of our overrun and a fortified space. So the 3rd paratrooper first hits on a 5 or less. That's a 4, so that's 1 hit. The 5th paratrooper hits on a 5 or less as well. That's a 5. And then the 21st Panzer hits on a 5 or less as well. That would be a 3. So I will deal the hit to the 3rd paratrooper so I can plan on refitting him next turn. Then we'll take out the 6th paratrooper, so those 2 are destroyed. And that's it for all the battles, so we have upgrades. We actually had an upgrade up here, but I'll come back and resolve that, and I'll do that now. So I think I will upgrade the 91st, and that sends me into which bag? The Dragon bag, so this one. So we'll draw an upgrade. Actually, I think we get to see the upgrade, and then we decide who we want, what unit we want to put it on. Alright, so our first upgrade is a veteran unit for +1 battle plan point. So I will put that on the 91st. And then over here in Ken, we have another upgrade because we destroyed another unit. And our upgrade this time is a veteran, giving them 1 more value on both defense and movement. I'm definitely going to want that on Panzer Division, so I'll put that on the 21st Panzer. So now there's a 5 with a superscript of 2, 4, 4. All right, then Allied resupply. So we check each of the beaches based on this chart up here. It might be a little bit hard to see, but roll once for each of the 5 beaches. Actually, no, we don't use that for the June 6th, 1944 turn, which we're in right now. So we'll use the June 6th reinforcements instead. So we'll work from right to left. Sword Beach gets the British 3rd, which is a 433. That thing is bad news. Then Juno Beach gets the 3rd Can, probably the 3rd Canadian. Gold Beach gets the 50th, which is going to encounter an infantry division, so we've got to fight that out. The Allies will get their one battle plan. We will have 2 battle plan points to work with. Is it a battle I think it's a battle like normal. So if the Allies are moving in, they would defend. They would be attacking. We would be defending. I think that's how that works. It's been a while since I've played this game, so the Allies... Oop! Wrong bag. That was the Veterans bag. I need the Cthulhu bag. Or that's the upgrade bag. I need the Cthulhu bag for the Allied battle plans. Alright, so the Allied battle plan at Gold Beach is an intel, and I think I just use intel to cancel out their intel with my 2 battle plan points. Then we'll fight it out. So the 50th Motorized Division hits on a 3 or less, as will the 716th, since it's in a fortified space. Alright, that's 1 hit for the British. Then for us... also a hit, so this is going to be a game of last man standing, basically. Except they've got the advantage because they're a 1-2-2. Actually, we have the advantage theoretically because we're a 0-2-0. Because that's a fortified space. So the Allies don't hit. So if we get a 2 here, we take out the 50th. 50th motorized. That's a 5, so nothing doing there. The 50th. So this is basically just a game of last man standing at this point. That's a 3. Back to the 7/16th, who need a 2. A 6. Back to the 50th we go for a 1. A 4. 7/16th for a 2. No. Back to the 50th. Ay, ay, ay. Neither of these sides can shoot straight, apparently. There's a 5. 7/16 still wants a 2. A 3. Back to the 50th. Good grief. A 4. The 7/16 again. There we go. So the 7/16th, not the 7/16th, the 50th is destroyed. So that plan blew up for them in their face. Then Omaha Beach gets the U.S. 29th and 1st Infantry Divisions. So we're back to battle again. The Allies get 2 battle plans, and we have 2 battle plan points. So let's make sure we go into the right bag, which is once again Cthulhu. So 2 battle plans for the Allies. Okay, we draw out Disrupt and Artillery, where you roll a die. 1 to 2, score 2 hits, 3, 1 hit, otherwise no effect. So for 2 battle plan points, I think we want the I think we'll go up to 3 battle plan points because I want Intel and Disrupt. So our Intel will kick off and cancel out one of their battle plans. That's the one we'll keep, and that's the one we'll cancel. So, I heard it drop, but I didn't see... I heard it hit the board, but I didn't see where it landed. Did it fall? It didn't fall on the floor, did it? Yes, it did. Alright, so we are actually canceling out... Come on. You do not want to focus tonight, do you? We're canceling out the Allies' Disrupt. So we still have to roll for Artillery, which once again is a 1 to 2, does 2 hits. The 3 does 1 hit. And I think battle plans... I think the battle plan would take them out. Right. So... yeah, every force will still get to attack. So we'll bring the dice tower back and shot. So this is rolling for the Artillery battle plan. That's a 3, so that'll be 1 guaranteed hit for the Allies. Then we'll roll for the 1st Infantry. They hit on a 4 or less. That's a 3, so that'll be 2 hits. Then we'll roll for the 29th. They hit on a 3 or less, not that it really matters. That's a 1. And then the 352nd will defend on a 4 or less. That's a 2, so we do 1 hit back, but We lose the 352nd, which I believe we have to pay to bring it back to reinforcements, right? Move forces from your destroyed pile to your reinforcements. Okay, 2 supplies to move each force. So I'll put them in put the 352nd in. I'll actually grab another cup for an Axis destroyed pile. The Allies pile will go straight back in the bag on the next turn. Alright, then we do 1 hit. We have to do that to the 29th Infantry Division. We won't go too far with the Dice Tower because we've still got fun and games in Utah Beach yet. Because the American 4th Infantry will be moving into Utah Beach. The Allies get 1 battle plan for that, and we will have a total of 3 battle plan points for the Axis, which I'll probably just set on my supplies for the time being. Because I'm going to need to do some refitting next round. So 1 battle plan for the Allies. They draw. They draw an ambush. Oh joy. Alright, so we actually have 3. I forgot we had the 91st with the +1 battle plan points. So we actually have, I believe that's 4 battle plan points because we have 2 for each full strength units. +1 is 3, +1 for a half strength unit is 4. So I think what we'll do there is, do I care about them rolling first? I don't necessarily think I do. Oh wait, they should also have, I believe they also get 10 supplies, so actually, yeah, those come in with Allied resupply, so that should have canceled a lot, that should have impacted a lot of battles. So they actually have they actually should be down to 11 battle plan points. We'll do that now. So they should be down to 11 battle plan points, and they'll get 2 more plans out of their battle plan bag. Yikes. So 2 battle plans. Let's see what the Allies find. Tactics, which is their reroll, and deploy, +1 random reinforcement force, which I believe goes right in the battle, doesn't it? That's sure what I'm getting out of that. Yeah, before the start of the first round of battle, which will be in the Flames bags. That'll be in this one. But we'll see if they still have that, because I have my aforementioned 4 battle plan points, which I'm going to try to cancel that with Intel. And we'll disrupt and tactics. So Intel goes off, and we'll cancel one of these battle plans out. Oh, come on, deploy. That's the one I really want to cancel. But, unfortunately, we nail ambush. So our problems are just about to get bigger. So we go into this bag to draw an Allied reinforcement out to go on Utah Beach. Let's see what we find. Oh, wonderful. Another infantry division, the 4th this time, the 15th, I should say. So once again, this is going to be a game of last man standing, so that plan's done. The Allies will re-roll their first hit. But again, this is a game of last man standing. I'll go ahead and roll for disrupt now. Once again, 1 to 3, they lose 2 supplies. 4 to 5, they lose 1. 6 gives me no effect. That's a 4, so they lose 1 supply, going down to 10, which is still not great for us, but we'll get that out of the way, because so we can see that Utah Beach is a fortified space. Well, the Allies attack first. They're attacking. They hit on a 4 or less. Alright, the 15th deals a hit. Then the 4th hits on a 4 or less as well. That's a 5, so they only do 1 hit. The 709th hits on a 2 or less, because that's a fortified space. That's a 2, so we're doing 1 hit as well. Then the 91st hits on a 3 or less. So I did disrupt. Actually, the Allies would have re-rolled their miss on the 4th. So we'll go ahead and use that to re-roll. Which is another hit. So now we're rolling for the 91st, who defends on a 3 or less. That's a 1, so that's 2 hits. Right. So 2 hits for the Allies will take out the 709th and damage the 91st. That's kind of a catch-22 there. So the 709th goes into the destroyed cup. And then that goes back to the bag as well. Let's see, then 2 hits on the Allies will hit the 15th, I guess. So we'll flip it over and then we'll destroy it. And then we've got another round of combat. So the 4th hits on a 4 or less. That's a 3, so that's 1 hit will be enough to take out the 91st. See if we can do some damage to the 4th on the way down on a 2 or less with the 91st. We can, so we'll do a damage to them, but the 91st is taken out. The upgrade goes back to the bag, and the Allies now have a foothold on Utah Beach, which is not great for us. So I believe this was the upgrade bag, right? No, that's the Allied reinforcement. That's the Allied operations bag. Right, this one's the upgrade bag. Okay. So we've got that figured out. That'll bring us over to round 2 and back to the Axis turn. We advance the turn counter to June 7th to the 8th, 1944, and hey, look at that. We're actually earning a victory point. Whoopee. Right, so we're refitting. We have a lot of problems on our hands right now. The only way I'm holding Gold Beach right now is with a miracle. So I think I'll spend 2 supply points, go down to 3, and refit the 3rd paratrooper out. Battle moves. Do I want to have any battle moves this turn? I don't think so. I feel like I just want to play a defensive game right now. Unless I maybe want to try... trying to get into Juno Beach right now could be a very bad idea. But... especially since that's a fortified beach, I think the best plan for me is just to play defense for the time being. So we'll skip right through battles and go into non-battle moves. I'll get the 12th Panzer into Balleroy just so I have units on all 3 of those. Then we'll go through... wait a minute. I need to get something off of the... I could send 1, 2, 3, 4... I'm not sure I want to leave 2 infantry divisions behind. So I think we'll try to head to... I think we'll bring an infantry unit to help out. So I'll send the 3rd para to Tilley-sur-Sioule as well. I probably just butchered the French pronunciation of that, but my apologies on that. Supply check. Everything's all clear there. And then the Axis resupply. So 2 points per objective free of allies, which gives me 6. Where's the 6 on here? Here we are. 1 per beach held by the Axis. We hold 1. We hold 1 beach. That brings me up to 7. Per Allied force destroyed. 1, 2, 3, 4. That goes into the flames bag. So that's a total of 7. That brings me up to 11 supply points. I need supplies pretty badly at this point, so I think what we'll do is... Okay, so I will actually pay 4 supply... I'll pay 4 supply... or 4... 4 resupply points to get 8 supplies. I can math, I promise. 4, 8, that'll bring me up to 11. Then I'll pay 5 to bring out the... I'll pay 5 to go down to 2 to bring out the the 1st SS Panzer Division. I'll deploy that in Balleroy. And then 2 more. We'll deploy the... Let's bring out the 275th and we'll put them in... Let's put them in Balleroy as well. Supply check won't actually happen until until toward the end of next turn, so I'm not worried about that. So now we'll go into the Allies' turn since we're out of battle plan points. Or since we're out of resupply points. The Allies refit at a cost of 2 supply points per refit. So they'll be spending 6 points to go down to 4... 6 points to go down to 4. Once again, I promise I can math. I'm just apparently having a hard time of it tonight. To refit the 82nd para, the 29th, oh yeah, and the 4th, which got damaged last turn. Okay, now that we've got that figured out, now we go for the Allied operation check, and that's this bag. I'm trying to keep these all straight. Alright, so the operation check this time is the go order. Uh-oh. Alright, so these forces are now joining the game, and we've got to figure out where. There's a chart on here to determine where they're joining the game. Where's the lid for the cup? Here we are. So on a 1, these forces are going to Utah Beach. 2 to 3, they're going to Omaha Beach. 4, they're going to Gold Beach to slaughter the 7th to 16th. 5 to Juno Beach. 6 to Sword Beach. The only reason I know they're going to slaughter the forces at Gold Beach is because I'm not blind. A 5 means they're going to Juno Beach. So we've got the... So just take a quick look. We've got the 15th and 30th Infantry Divisions and the 7th Armor coming out. Going to Juno Beach. That is going to be hugely problematic. Right, so now we go through Allied orders. We'll just work from left to right. So we don't have any Allied forces in an objective right now, so they sit tight. Right, so that part's going to sit tight. So we'll go up to Utah Beach first. Let's see what order they get. They're +1 per Allied force in the region, so this will be a +1 roll. 1, 2, so they'll be advancing toward the nearest Axis forces. But the nearest Axis forces are down here in St. Lo, so they'll be moving 1, 2. Then for the... I didn't think of this. How do I want to note when a force is gone? I'll have a way to deal with that before I get into the next Allied orders phase. So in Saint Marie Dumont, the 82nd Para, what are they doing? Right, they're +1 as well. So 3, they're also advancing, which is bringing them 1, 2 to St. Jean de Deo. And up at Omaha Beach, what are they doing? This roll is +2 because they have... Oh, wait a minute. This roll is actually... In the region. So this roll is actually a minus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because we've got 5 Axis forces in the. Actually, this is a net minus 3. For each region. Okay, so I believe the regions are split by the. I gotta double check that, but I think each region is actually split by the bigger lines on the map. Separated by dark lines, so that's a region. Okay, so that makes a little more sense. So this whole region is minus... This whole region is actually net minus... So 2... This whole region is net minus 3. Whereas this region is going to be net plus 3. So let's see what the Allied forces at Omaha Beach are doing. 4 minus 3 is 1, so they're holding for the time being. I believe that's rolled once per region. I've been assuming it's rolled for each individual map space. No, so it is based on the region. Okay, never mind, I did that wrong on my last playthrough. Then for this region over here, as I said, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Allied forces, minus 2 German forces, so this roll is net plus 3. And we've got some pretty mobile units here as well. I can see us having quite the show in Cannes, but let's find out. 5 is, they're moving toward objectives. So, let me just double check that. I believe it's advanced twice toward, one area directly toward the closest flagged objective. So, oh, they're only moving one area, so let's see. So the 82nd would end up here, the 4th would end up here. It was only one space. Okay, never mind. So they're moving twice toward objectives. Yeah, we're going to have quite the show in Cannes. So 1, 2, and then all of this is going to move down to Cannes. The Allies are going to lose a supply, go down to 3. Right? Is that how that works? Yes. Objective. Okay, so... Alright, so we got that all figured out, and now we've got the aforementioned show down in Cannes. This is going to be quite a mess. So, all of the Allied forces are down here in Cannes. They get a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 battle plan points. We're going to get a total of 4 points, and we might have to spend some supply points to get more plans just to try to have a chance of getting out of this mess. These go back in the Allied operations bag. Do we replenish the operations area once they get the go order? And draw the number of force. Okay, we're now ready. All right, I'm double checking to see if those operations forces get replenished on the go order. One advance was drawn. Okay. Wait, you now place the forces. Okay, oh, and the go counter was just flipped. Okay. Return the 3 operations, then draw 2 allied. Okay, so we do replenish that. Okay, so they should be 3 operations. Sorry, I know I'm being a little bit klutzy with this, but should it be 3 forces in the... oh yeah, okay. It should be 3 forces there, so we'll draw 3 more out of this bag. Flames for the reinforcements. Yep, okay. Now that we've got that figured out, before we head over toward the show in Cannes, we'll draw 3 forces to get them set up. And this time they're getting set up with all infantry. Delightful. All right, now for the show in Cannes. So the Allies have 5 battle plan points available to them. Somehow down to 3 supply points, though. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. I see some battle plans I don't like. And, come on, 5. Okay. So we'll just go ahead and take a look at all of these in one shot. Oh boy, this could turn into a big problem because we've got Disrupt, which we saw earlier, 1 to 3 minus 2 supplies, 4 to 5 minus 1, 6 no effect, Tactics for a reroll, Air Raid 1 to 3 for a hit, another Disrupt, and a Deploy. And we have a total of 4 battle plan points. Is it worth trying to save this mess in... Given that it's one of the objectives, I think we gotta fight for it. So I will spend 4 supplies to get 4 more battle plan points, which will turn into Tactics, Dig in for 3. Actually, no. I want Overrun for 3. Intel to bring me up to 6. And 7 for Disrupt, and we'll let the last one float away. So the Intel will kick off and cancel one of their battle plans. Hopefully we get the Deploy. That's the one we're canceling. And we nail the Tactics. How lovely. That goes back in there. So now So first we'll draw the Deploy. So they're getting another force down here. I'm hoping to Almighty God and pretty much every deity I can think of that this isn't going to be another armor division. Fortunately, it's infantry, but I think we're still in pretty deep trouble, I think. So, Deploy is done, which means we can roll for the Air Raid first. We'll get all the battle plan stuff hammered out. So, first the Allies. They'll roll for their Air Raid first. A 3 is 1 hit. Right, we're doing battles right now. Then we've got 2 disrupts on the Allied side. So first disrupt, minus 2 supplies, which will bring us down to 5. Second disrupt, Six has no effect, so those can all go back to the Allied battle plan bag. Then for our disrupt, there's a 3, so they lose 2 supplies as well, bringing them down to 1. Alright, so our disrupt is done, which means now we go into battle. So we'll roll for the Allies first, and actually I'm going to grab... I've got some cubes over here that I was going to use for a game later this year. They'll actually come in very handy here, because I was looking for a way to track which units have rolled and which units haven't in battle. Because I realized I was going to need some way to keep that straight. So I've got these cubes that I'm going to use, and I just happened to grab the 2 closest colors I could. We'll use green for the Allies and yellow for the Axis. I know it's a thematic fail, but it's more to help me keep track of them than anything. So the 30th is up first, and I've got the die in the cup, so the 30th hits on a 4 or less. That's another hit. The 3rd Canadian also hits on a 4 or less. That's a 3. The 15th Infantry hits on... Actually, that was the 4th Canadian I rolled. Now we'll roll for the 7th Armor. They hit on a 5 or less, but do 2 hits on a 3. So we should... Oh, right. I was counting the air raid hit as well. That's a 4, so that's another hit. We should have had an upgrade on the 4th, I believe. I'll deal with that. That should have been on their last turn. No, actually, I think that would go... No, I think that would go now. But anyway, the 7th Armor got a hit. They're done. The 15th Infantry hits on a 4 or less. Nope. So actually we need one more for the Allies. Everything access in there is getting flattened, though. That is for sure. 51st hits on a 3 or less. That's a 3. And then the 3rd hits on a 4 or less. That's a 6. Okay, so the 3rd's done. Alright, everything in there is getting wiped out. And I think... I'm going to talk about that more in the after-action report, but I think knowing I'm going to lose this scenario coming in is kind of sapping my enjoyment a little bit. But the 5th Paratrooper defends on a 5 or less. It's a mess, but it is a fortified space. And I've got Overrun, so that's where I'm getting 5 or less from. That's a 3. And then the 21st Panzer also defends on a 5 or less. That's a 3, so 2 hits. Which means we'll take 1 unit down with us, but there's not even a point to drawing... Alright, so yeah, we'll take 1 unit down with us, which means we'll take the 51st down with us. That'll go back in the flame bag. But both of our units get destroyed. And then we'll be drawing 2 upgrades for... Is it per unit destroyed either side, or... is it their units destroyed? Because if it's units either side, then the Allies are then we're gonna have big problems with the Allies coming up. That... Placing new forces. Where in the world do they explain upgrades? Let's see, upgrades. Each side receives 1 upgrade for each enemy force that was destroyed. Okay, so we'll put that back. We'll put this unit back in the bag. And then the Allies from that battle will get 2 upgrades. We'll draw these out, and then before I decide where they need to go, I need to take a small break. So we'll draw out... Oh, that's the operations bag. Derp. Okay, so actually before I draw out of the right bag, I'll take a small break. Alright, now that I've got the right bag in my hand, now let's go ahead and draw unit upgrades for the Allies. Alright, we find... Alright, defensive upgrades and an attack upgrade. So I'll put the defense upgrade on the... defense upgrade on the 15th, and the attack upgrade on the 30th, because why not? And I have a sneaking feeling that we're starting to hit the treadmill on this one. Let's see, then Allied resupply. So now we roll for each of the 5 beaches. And we've got the resupply chart up here, so we'll work from right to left. We'll start on Sword Beach. The area is not held by the Axis, so this is just a straight roll. A 6 is a force and 4 supplies. So the Allies are going to be getting reinforced rather nicely, and I believe... Yes, just making sure I've got the right bag here. Alright, so going to Sword Beach, we have... The US 90th. Going to Juno Beach, we have... A force and another 4 supplies. We're going to get run out of this pretty quick, I'm sure. So we got another force going to Juno Beach, we find. Me getting annoyed with bits of string from the bag. And the 59th Infantry from the US. Gold Beach, because we hold the area, is a plus... That should be in the destroyed cup. This rolls a +3, since the area is held by the Axis. A 5 plus 3 is 8, so they get another. So the Allies get another 2 supplies, as they need more right now. They're at 11. Then going up to Omaha Beach. A 3 is 2 more forces. Good grief. So this is up at Omaha Beach. 1 too many. So we'll draw again. 1 and 2. There we are. This time we have a motorized division, and we have the 50th from Britain and the 6th paratroopers going up to Omaha Beach. Delightful. And then up to Utah Beach. Is a 2 for another 2 forces. Good grief. Two forces. The 9th and the 91st are both out. Are both at Utah Beach. Delightful. Right, so that's the Allied resupply done. We're into round 3 now, and... Money! Help! Turn counter advances to June 9th to the 10th, 1944. We are facing all kinds of problems here. We don't have anything to refit. Actually, I take that back. We do have Gold Beach to refit, but we only... Well, that actually might be worth spending some supply points on, because we could use a fortified defense up there. Battle moves. Yeah, right. Battle moves. That's a good one. Yeah, I don't think we're looking anywhere near battle for this one. So non-battle moves. I do want to get the 1st Panzer out of... I do want to get one of those divisions out of a Balleroy. So actually, moving up and... No. I hate using panzers on defense, but I don't think I have a choice here. So supply, so we'll move into supply check. Everything here is in supply. And then for Axis resupply, we hold... So we have 2 objectives free of allies, so that's 4, which the die is up here. So 4 resupply points plus 1 beach held is 5. And we haven't destroyed any allied forces, so... I think we'll just deploy another Panzer division, the 9th SS Panzer. We'll put that down in St. Lo. And then that's it for the Axis resupply check. So now we're into the Allied turn. They don't have anything to refit, so we go into the Allied operations check, which is this bag right here. Right, the Allied operation order this time. +1 force. Oh joy. All right, so the force is the U.S. Second Infantry. So that goes on the operations check, or on the operations forces. Then Allied orders will work from left to right. So for this first region, let's see what they're getting. Let's see, 2, they're all getting advanced. So they're moving once toward the nearest objective. So 1, and then those move down to Saint Marie du Mont. And then for this region, actually we are, right, okay, that was actually net, actually that was no net of anything. So this one, so for this region we are net 0, so another straight roll. Right, 4 is an advance, so everything moves down to Mosul's. That's going to be problematic. And then this region is... Okay, so let's deal with the forces in an objective. So Cannes is one of our objectives. We have 5 forces in there right now. So the 2 forces with the highest attack value is advance, which means advance is just 1, I believe. 1 area, okay. Alright, so the 5th Armor moves, as does the 30th Infantry. So they move 1, and then there's still 3 or more forces in there, so it's all 4s here. So I'll leave the 3rd Canadian and the 3rd British. So they're all heading toward, they're all basically bringing us toward disaster at this point. As for the rest of the region, so the 15th Infantry is going to stay put. What are the other 2 doing? A 3 means they're advancing, and the closest Axis forces are Gold Beach. So the 59th moves there, the 90th moves there. So now we go into another battle phase. The Allies are going to have they're going to have 3 battle plans, but they're going to lose 2 supplies, going down to 9. So 3 battle plans. Right, let's go to the right bag, Phoenix Knight. Cthulhu bag is the one we want here. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. All right, looking at our battle plans. Oh joy. I see our problems are about to get very intense in a hurry. We have a disrupt, an overrun, and an intel. How delightful. And we have all of 3 supplies left. We are very much about to start feeling the pinch here very shortly. Even if St. Lo is probably going to be... St. Lo is looking like it's going to be our last stand at this point. We're very much going to get crushed in there. But let's see what happens here. So for our battle plan points, I'm going to try to hold out here as long as I can. So I'm just going to buy an intel and cancel their intel. We'll roll for disrupt first. We've seen that several times before, so I'm not going to go through that again. One loses us 2 supplies. Delightful. Alright, so their disrupt is done. They're going to hit us on... Yikes. They're going to hit us on a 5 or less. Delightful. Alright, that's a 5. Here's the 1 hit for... That's the Allied spin down. Then we defend on a 3 or less because that's a fortified space. That's a 4, so we end up taking the hit, but then they retreat back to Juno Beach. Fantastic. Alright, so going into the Allied resupply. So each beach... So going to Sword Beach first. A 4 gets them a force and 4 more supplies. Good grief, they're up to 13. And then the new force they've got coming out to Sword Beach. Seems like it's all panzered. It seems like it's all armor at this point. Although we have the British 43rd Infantry, so somehow we still have some infantry divisions to come out. Juno Beach next. The roll here, in case I didn't go through it, 3 or less, 2 forces, 4 to 6, 1 force and a supply, and 1 force and 4 supplies, 7 plus for 2 supplies, plus 3 if the area was held by the Axis, but I don't use this on the June 6, 1944 turn, instead use June 6, 1944 reinforcements, which were the forces I had scattered around the board at the start of the game, just in case you were wondering about that. Move that just a touch. So we're rolling for Juno Beach next. Yeah. Alright, that's bringing out another force and 4 supplies. Let's see, so 13 is going to bring me up to 17. So let me grab... Actually, we'll do that, and we'll grab a 10. So now we need another force. US 79th coming out to Juno Beach. Gold Beach, this roll is a +3 because we still hold Gold Beach somehow. Five plus 3 is 8 for another 2 supplies. So the Allies are now up to 19 supplies. Going up to Omaha Beach. A 1 is 2 more forces. Are there even 2 forces left in the bag at this point? I don't think there are. Well, actually I take that back. There are 4 forces left. But now we've got the armor starting to make its appearances. So 433 and a 523. So that's the 11th Armor and the 15th and the US 15th Infantry. Then Utah Beach. Four is another force and 4 supplies. We have 3 forces left in the bag. I didn't think we had that many. Oh boy. The US 2nd Armor, 6 and 2 superscript, 3-3. Fun. Yeah, I didn't think we were going to... This has kind of gone pretty much sideways on us, to be honest. I'm surprised we lasted this long, but that's the end of round 3, believe it or not, so we're into round 4 next. Looking at the map that we've got going on here, I basically see us getting eventually run probably into St. Lo. I don't think Balleroy isn't fortified, neither is St. Lo. So, yeah, we're eventually just going to get run down. And with only one force left in the bag, and we're not really going to be able to make any headway, I can see the writing on the wall here, so I think we're just going to tap out and call it a game here. So we are ending the game at June 9th to the 10th, 1943, where we're going to end up, where we'll score 3 victory points. So, as I mentioned before with this game, I really enjoyed this game. I don't think enjoyed is the right word for it. It was interesting for what it was, which was a simulation of Rommel's most famous stories. It definitely didn't help here that we got off to such a rocky start in terms of the Allies getting their forces out quickly, to the point where there's only there's 2 Allied forces left in the bag, and they're both infantry. So yeah, we weren't making any kind of headway on that one. I did have the last scenario in this box scheduled for later this year with the Al Alamein scenario, but given that looks like it's going to be more of the same, where we're running on the treadmill and we're eventually going to have the hammer drop on us, I'm actually kind of inclined to pull that from the schedule, but I'll give that's not going to be until October, so I'll have a little bit of time to consider what I want to do with that scenario. But I'm going to get this cleaned up, and then we actually have a small product unboxing to move into, so we're not quite done with this video. So we'll come back with the product unboxing ready to go. This box actually came in on Monday. I was waiting for another delivery, but it hasn't come in yet. I haven't even seen tracking on it yet. So we're going to go ahead and unbox this delivery now. This is actually from the same gentleman that I bought the new and shrink copy of Hornet Leader from DVG off of. And on a related note, the giveaway for the opened with the tokens unpunched and the cards still sealed, that copy from Noble Knight is still open. So if you're a US-based subscriber, head over to the giveaway video, leave a like on the video, and comment with a game, a product, or a recipe you've tried because of one of my videos. So let's go ahead and see what's in this box. It's another one of these USPS boxes, which I really don't like, because they seal. Okay, they seal very well, and there's really no. Okay, we just tore it open, but go ahead and get this open, sealed in much the same way. And sure enough, okay, I hear the dice rattling, and I see the plastic bags, and sure enough, we have got the sealed and the new and shrink copy. I'll get that box out of shot. We've got the new and shrink copy of Hornet Leader, the Cthulhu Conflict from DVG. So I mentioned in the video where I unboxed the original copy of Hornet Leader that the story for that copy was actually much more sordid than I expected it to be. So if you remember back to that video, I had unboxed the copy of the Cthulhu Conflict from Noble Knight. The copy looked pretty good at first glance, so I put the video up. Then I actually had somebody on The Geek reach out to me and say, hey, I recognize that copy of Cthulhu Conflict. Which my first thought would have been BS until he started describing the copy in pretty good detail. So it was a copy apparently that he had returned of the Cthulhu Conflict because he was able to identify how he packaged the dice, the cards, and that the cards were in sequential order. Which I thought, okay, that's weird. So I went through that copy, and sure enough, it was the exact same copy. So he had returned that same copy to Noble Knight, and then I got that copy. Which, I'm not sure how I feel about Noble Knight coming out of this. I'm of two minds about it. On the one hand, Noble Knights had always been good about stuff like that. On the other hand, the fact that they put out a copy that somebody had returned back in the mail to somebody else was just inexcusable to me. It kind of bothered me. Because the thing is, I bought a lot of used stuff from Noble Knight, and their used stuff had always been really good. Like in that, if you remember in the delivery unboxing where I got that copy of Hornet Leader, I actually got a copy of U-Boat Leader as well from DVG, and that copy was actually in really good shape, where the cards were sleeved, the tokens were organized into a craft tray. Everything about that copy of U-Boat Leader looked really good. So I guess it kind of leaves me feeling torn about how I feel about dealing with Noble Knight when it comes to used games, but that's just something I'll have to wrestle around with. I'll definitely be dealing with them for... I don't know what I'll be dealing with them on. This definitely kind of scars me a little bit on their used game front, so I'll have to think about how I want to do business with them moving forward. But anyway, that will do it for this video of Field Commander Rommel. Two scenarios down, 1 to go. So, as small as those scenarios are and how rigidly defined everything is, I just don't see replayability as being a thing. As I mentioned before I started to clean up, I was thinking about going through the last scenario in the box, but I'm not sure at this point now. I'll have to think about that, but we can go ahead and wrap this video up. Sunday we're playing Cthulhu Death May Die, which may also be the day Mystical Munchies goes up this week. I'll try to get it up on Saturday, but I'm going to be at the game store playing Twilight Imperium Saturday, so I can make no promises on getting Mystical Munchies up on Saturday. And then as for next week, we're going to stay on this geographic side of Germany during World War II as we play Tank on Tank West Front. Thank you for watching the video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care everyone.